Oh, how they want us to forget. Oh, how they forgot. Part 2. It's your boy who did it. I hope everybody's Sunday is going well. I hope you all are healthy, and I hope your families are doing well, and you all are progressing forward. The reason why there's a part 2 to this video is because once again I feel like they're forgetting so many other pioneers to the social injustice conundrum that they keep force feeding down our throats. Preferably the National Basketball Association, led by Silver Spoon, 2 scoops and a twist. They would like us to forget Maya Moore, Mark Jackson, Jalen Rose, Warrick Dunn, guys like Tim Duncan, and they want us to talk about the Nike assets, the Mike Trouts, Aaron Rodgers, the face of all this madness, LeBron James, Odell, Mr. Stickum himself, Beckham, sexual healing in the bubble bath, pause, the Williams sisters. Nike has a whole squad, man. They have an all-star, superstar lineup full of assets and puppets that push certain agendas, such as humanitarianism, globalism, borderline Luciferianism, idolatry, They got a whole lineup, man, and they got a whole agenda for the masses. But that's another video for another time. But there's 5 people that they want us to forget about that while I was driving today to work, I thought to myself, man, we need to talk about 5 people that I remember in my childhood, in my preteens, all the way up to just a couple years ago, that they just never talk about, man, or they try to sneak it under the rug. That being Jalen Rose, Tim Duncan, Maya Moore, Mark Jackson with like a subtopic under them, Jacque Vaughn and Monty Williams. And I just felt like making sure these stories get out there before they ride off into the sunset on the liberal woke train. First and foremost, we're going to start with Tim Duncan. Arguably the best power forward to ever play the game. But we're not here to talk about the big fundamentals or Tim Duncan on the basketball court per se. Obviously, that's what got him in this discussion, but I want to talk about how he is off the court. Did you know Tim Duncan had a foundation? The Tim Duncan Foundation. Yeah, man, Timmy. And there they concentrate on health awareness, education, helping people with homes, as well as other problems in the community being resolved. Solution-based. No talk about it. I'm even surprised at Fox Sports analyst Skip Bayless, who's such an avid Spurs supporter. He likes to talk about Popovich being so courageous in his efforts to discuss politics and social injustices. He likes to call Kawhi Leonard at one time number 2. He's backed off that and he's back to calling him Kawhi. He liked to call that dude number 2 and said that he was a coward and all this other crap, man. But on a serious scale, other than saying Tim Duncan was a leader, and the best power forward in the game, which is pretty obvious to the human eye. No talk about this man's foundation. It's based out of 3 different locations also. The Virgin Islands, where he's from. North Carolina, where he went to college, Wake Forest. And obviously the San Antonio area with the surrounding communities and the suburbs. Timmy, job well done, man. I know they want us to forget. To a certain degree, this video could be titled What They Didn't Tell You. But I'm going to say they forgot. Let's just say they forgot. The next person is Maya Moore. Before Maya Moore was gaining segue through the ESPN and all of the other sports networks for helping Jonathan Irons, which is to be honored. If I had 100 tongues, I couldn't say it enough. What she has done is awesome. She is the true definition of a helpmate. She's awesome. But before she did this thing with Jonathan Irons, you do know that she gave another reason for taking a sabbatical from the WNBA. And that was to honor God and to take care of her child. I'm very shocked at the WNBA for being such a progressive, woke league to not really focus on Maya, you know? But let's be honest, they don't really want to honor a woman who wants to be and desires to be a good wife, a great mother, and a woman who honors God. That would be too much like hate speech nowadays. You know how the WNBA gets down. All you gotta do is watch a couple games, or even just watch a little bit of the highlights. You'll catch my drift. Let's talk about Warrick Dunn, who they want us to forget. Oh, how they want us to forget about Warrick Dunn. A brother who does have a organization that helps minorities find housing. He does have an organization that helps teens get to college. He has another organization to help people with healthy lifestyle. Warrick Dunn started off at Florida State. That's where I first started to pay attention to him in the the early to mid 90s, where he was in the backfield with Pooh Bear, wide receiver E.G. Green, along with Peter Boulware. Them teams was nice, man. Then he got drafted to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I believe he was with Tony Dungy for a little while and John Gruden afterwards to help the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come from out of the basement of the NFC South. And he was part of the Mike All-Star Trent Dilfer offense, but he was the catalyst that helped them go. So, you know, he goes from them to the Atlanta Falcons. Very proud of that, man. They want you to forget about Warrick Dunn. They only want to tell you about the pundits and the assets from the Nike clique. And it's not to put them down, it's just to give someone else some shine, man. Don't stop telling a false narrative that these people that are on the television screen now are the only ones or the first people to do it. So it's up to people that have been around for a little bit of time to at least enlighten the younger folks, or even the people that maybe just don't know. Like, Warrick Dunn helped people get houses. Jalen Rose, who's the next person I'm going to talk about, started an academy. I know they want you to believe that LeBron is the only one that opened a school, as if brothers with money or men of color that have the platform don't do these things. No, they're just not promoted as much. They don't have a Nike shrine in their school. And it's very shocking because Jalen Rose is ESPN's own, man. Obviously, he does some NBA games. He's a special guest at times with his wife, Max Kellerman, and Stephen A. on First Take. He also has a show, Jacoby and Jalen. And then he comes on Get Up sometimes in the morning with Mike Greenberg. So he's all through that mug, man. But they make sure to talk about all this off the court stuff right in front of his face as if he doesn't exist. Yo, Jalen started an academy in Detroit, Michigan, man. Detroit in the house. Big bad Fab Five member, wore number 5 on the Fab Five. Had a pretty decent NBA career playing with the Pacers. Got to a finals. Went up against Jordan in 1998. Jalen did his thing on the court, but it's off the court where it's like they want you to only think that these guys now that's in the Nike clique, that monster again, the Minions, the LeBrons, the Aaron Rodgers, the Mike Trout, the Odell, the Williams sisters. They only want to talk about them, and I don't understand why they narrow it down to such a small scale of athletes who are doing things for their community. That's sickening, man. That's very sickening. And to a certain degree, sometimes you have to wonder if LeBron's even speaking these words from the heart. Or if Serena's speaking these words from the heart. It's so scripted out here with Hollywood, and you know how Hollywood holds hands with some of the sports leagues, if not all. You wonder sometimes if they're writing up their scripts. Lastly, let's talk about men of color in leadership positions. That being Mark Jackson with 2 subtopics, Jacque Vaughn and Monty Williams. All 3 of these men played Division I college basketball. Monty Williams for Notre Dame, Jacque Vaughn for Kansas, as well as Mark Jackson, for St. John's. All 3 of these men played in the NBA. All 3 of them have had some success as coaches. Mark Jackson does a pretty decent job as an analyst. I can't lie, his taste, he's a little bit bland right now for me. He says the same things over and over, hand down, man down, mama, there goes that man. It's starting to get old, man. He needs to think of some new material. However, the man was let go. And the question is, for all of the NBA sacrifice everything, Colin Kaepernick flunkies out there, how come when Mark Jackson got let go, no one said he got blackballed other than Andre Iguodala and a couple misdirected shots at the NBA from different pundits like Tracy McGrady and those guys? Why did none of the faces of the NBA league say, you know what, man, this is wrong? Mark Jackson should have a job. The same way them guys was fighting for Melo to get a job on the Portland Trail Blazers, Becky Ham to get a job with the New York Knicks. To a certain degree, they think we forgot them brothers was forcing Michael Sam to get a trial for the NFL. Why is it that Mark Jackson, it just seeps under the rug when it comes to him finding a job? Now, don't get me wrong. I've heard from NBA players such as Andrew Bogut that Mark Jackson's style sucks. He really didn't coach. He was just kind of a motivational rah-rah guy. But then on the other end, I've heard from people like Andre Iguodala, as well as Draymond Green, who said he was a phenomenal coach. We wasn't in that locker room, so it's tough to say. But Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, LeBron James, obviously, Kevin Durant, all these guys, man. No one can say nothing. You want us all to hold hands, and to a certain degree, you want us to kneel for a God who, I don't know who they're kneeling for. You want us to hold hands, but at the same time, you all are so woke. You want us to get involved with topics that black men really have no use for at this time. You want us to get involved with every movement, whether we agree with it or not. But when Mark Jackson got let go, man, you could hear a pin drop of how many NBA stars came to his defense. Is it because it was a religious-based stance? One may say. But I thought all them guys believed in God. Ain't that what they say when they accept their awards? I like to thank the man upstairs. Maybe they was just talking about the NBA owner. But then they get mad when the owner's an owner, and they try to say that they're slaves. That's another topic, I guess, for another video. But it's crazy, man. It's crazy to think that no one came to his defense. Is it because he came out and said that Same-sex marriages are against the Bible or against his religious beliefs. Wait a minute. I thought you sacrificed for anything. I thought the NBA was a woke league. They promote homosexuals and they promote all kinds of other movements. But Mark Jackson, strange, man. Now we go down to Monty Williams, who obviously had to go through something when he lost his wife. But for a while there, Monty was without a job. He was like an assistant. I seen him on a couple different benches, but there was no talk for him, man. And lastly, Jacque Vaughn, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. When you two, DeAndre and Dinwiddie, all come back to the squad next year, and maybe even Jamal Crawford, I sure hope you guys are pushing to keep Jacque and not to find a replacement that fast. For such a woke and progressive league, why are we not promoting men of color to be more in leadership? I'm not just talking about Masai Ujiri out at the Toronto Raptors owner, which he's doing a great job. I'm talking about these head coaches, man. You guys claim you're not like the NFL with the good old boy system. Then we gonna see. A couple weeks ago, Kyrie Irving made an uproar when he said we should have our own league. They laughed at him. A couple people said he was crazy. A couple people tried to throw up them deflectors with the flat earth comments. We ain't talking about that now. All eyes is on Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving when it comes to Jacque Vaughn. What he's doing with Karis LeVert and those guys and those Neophytes, Brooklyn is more than likely going to get swept. But next year, I would love to see Jacque Vaughn in that seat as a head coach. And if the dude pees the bed, then look, fire him, man. Look, some guys aren't cut out to be coaches. They're just X's and O's, or they're just coordinators. They're not necessarily good coaches. Right now, if you guys are paying attention, Doc Rivers is a prime example. Hey, look, man, if Doc gets bounced by these Dallas Mavericks, I don't care what color he is. You've done a terrible job as a coach. However, all of these men of color who seem to be standout athletes all across the NBA, whenever one is let go, y'all sitting here talking about women being the first coach and we're such a woke league and we need to support the WNBA. Why is it that these men of color who are coaches aren't really secure in their positions? Could it be that a lot of our households are ran by single mothers? I don't want to get on my Whitlock because I don't know how some of you all feel about him, but there is sometimes that he says some outrageous stuff where it's like, hey man, where is Whitlock coming from? If you all don't know what I'm talking about the old Fox Sports analyst, Jason Whitlock, excuse me guys. He used to say some things where he'll either hit a home run and be right on point or he'll strike out. I don't want to sound like him when it says like a lot of our families that are ran by single mothers are producing this AAU look on things. Therefore, that's why a lot of these young men don't want to be led by black men. I don't want to think that way. I don't want to. But that's another topic for another time. The bottom line is that monster, what I was talking about from part one, we got to start throwing shots at that monster who's putting a battery in these athletes' back, that's pulling these strings, that's making these Nike assets be the model citizens for our children. Your children shouldn't have to look up to Tiger Woods or LeBron James or Colin Kaepernick. You a father, you a cousin, you a uncle, you a friend. You could be that model. You could be that man. Because I'm not so sure that these Nike pundits and these Nike assets that's on TV are really in your best interest, especially for those who like to stand up for masculinity. I know it's hard to always analyze what I'm saying, but just keep living, keep breathing, keep paying attention, man. The attack is on masculinity first and foremost. And if you're a man of color, unfortunately, I'm definitely talking to you. You are last on the liberal totem pole. Last. That is why I'm asking all of these athletes that are coming out, why didn't you come to Mark Jackson's defense? It has nothing to do with the whole Christian minister thing. However, it does. All he said is what he felt and what he believes, his beliefs. Huh. I have to be very careful because I realize what platform I'm on right now, and that's YouTube. This is not hate speech by any means, but this is a topic that needs to be discussed, man. Don't let them just pollute your memory. There were other people out here who sacrificed some things, not necessarily the dollar, but maybe they sacrificed their fame, like Tim Duncan, who could have went to any organization and helped them win. I feel like what Warrick Dunn did with going to go see that man who murdered his mother is a true definition of what it means to be a godly man, a God-fearing man. Warrick Dunn, man, you're not talked about enough, bro. I know I couldn't have done it. Maya Moore, I've said it once, I'll say it again. What she did for the young man that was incarcerated, man, don't poo-poo that. Don't dismiss that by any means. But also, remember what she said to y'all when she took that sabbatical. Jalen Rose, bro, I don't always like your takes on ESPN because I feel like you definitely are following the script. A couple times Jalen Rose broke character and even said that ESPN is the LeBron James network. Why is that? Some truth is told in jester. But I got a feeling I'm going to make a part 3 or part 4, man. Oh, how they want us to forget. They want us to forget. This is your boy who did it, man. Enjoy your Sunday. This is the first day of the week. I hope everyone is safe. Be smart, be wise. Cover your 6, man. Peace.